well. The reigning world champions, 6 seconds down. I'm sure they'll be going home thinking what they got to do for Worlds.
K4, 1,000 meters. It is
this is going to be a phenomenal race. There's such strength and depth. To have 2 Slovakian boats and 2 German boats, that just shows the depths of the country. And Norway in lane 1, that was a great race by them to make the final. In lane 4, the Russians quickest into this final.
They've been switching around. They have only one survivor from the actual 2013 Worlds team. They switched quite a lot around last year. They said it wasn't working that well, but now they seem to maybe found themselves a good formula. This is on the picture at the moment. It's perhaps the least experienced Slovakian team, but as you mentioned, to have 2 in the final is quite something.
And you can't count on lane 8 in Australia either. I know they've switched out one of the guys, so it's going to be interesting to see how they go after winning last week with Jordan Wood in the back. And now they have Riley Fitzsimons in number 2, so it's going to be interesting. But 2 German teams, a lot on the line here for them. So let's see what happens.
I suppose with a nation the size of the pool that you have in Ireland, it's quite difficult, is it, to put forward a K4?
Yeah, I don't think we've had a K4 since 2003, so no, there's just not enough guys.
And it's going to be crucial to have your timing correctly for the Worlds, because it's the only time you can actually have a quota place this year.
Exactly.
Belarus are in. They're switching around a little bit, but they do have the Medvedev and Petroshenko, who've been winning medals in Olympics and all sorts of things.
They've been around the block for a long, long time. Exactly. You can never count out Belarus. And they've such depth as well. They're always changing guys in and out, and they're always still mixing in the top 5.
So we're lining up for the flying fours.
Slovakia looked massively strong yesterday in the seats as well.
Well, they're all out of the block safely.
I've never actually raced this race, but what I've heard from the guys who have been winning medals in it, it's the most painful race. It's just an all-out from nearly start to finish. Just
got to keep with your mates.
Exactly.
Well, the Czech Republic team are not competing this weekend. Clearly, they're the Moscow World Championships champions, rather.
Yeah, they've been the dominant force for a long time. They're just so well drilled, and you can just see the way they run that boat. But I've seen Daniel Havel and Joseph Dorsell in the K1, and they're both in the finals, so I'm sure they're trying out something different.
Okay, we'll have to watch out and watch this space and see.
Germany now just taking a small lead. They're one of the quickest qualifiers in as well.
So running through them, you see Germany now slightly ahead of Russia and Slovakia.
Australia there looking really, really good.
Jordan Wood was in the back last week. Now they're switching the round. The awesome threesome are looking for a new partner.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what they can do here after the win last weekend. I'm sure that they're trying to find the 4 guys who are going to try and qualify the boat for Olympics.
Well, it was always pre-programmed, even before the race. It was a case of Jordan was going to switch for Riley.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So it was like an interview last week. Coming up to the halfway stage.
And it's with Germany. That's so close.
Felix Landers, David Schmud, Fabian Cooks and Gordon Harbrecht.
I think that's the young crew of Germany.
Well, they haven't had the success they perhaps wanted to in the last couple of years, so they need to mix it out and find a good, solid performance.
Yeah, I think after Moscow last year, they went home and they basically pulled the whole thing apart and tried to start from the bottom up again, and it seems to be pulling off here when you have 2 crews mixing it for medals. I mean, you can see the 2 German crews are neck and neck there, Slovakia in second.
Russian also in the mix.
And Slovakia now are pushing through. This is such a close race. For a K4 race to be all coming into the last 200 meters. Australia usually have a big finish on them as well, and they're right there in the mix.
Well, it looks like Russia at the moment are also taking it through. Australia we saw really pushing in the last 200 meters last week. See what they're going to do today. But Germany looking very, very strong in lane number 6 as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's going between Germany and Russia.
And the yellow at the top of your picture.
And also Belarus coming through as well.
Belarus looking very, very strong in the white and the yellow tops. We're coming down to the last 60 meters. It's 4 or 5 boats in a line. Australia pushing quickly at the bottom of your picture, looking at Belarus as they're coming through. It looks like Belarus are going to take the victory.
Yeah, Belarus, Russia, Slovakia. Great race. To have a K4 all 9 boats within that close of a range.
Well, Belarus are celebrating like they've just won an Olympic gold. They're throwing their paddles into the water.
I'm sure that secures their spots now for World Championships. Maybe that's why they're celebrating so much. They've been messing around with the crews for the last while, and I didn't think they had the European Championships they wanted. I don't think they were in the medals, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy to win in that caliber of racing. There's no one missing here.
Well, part of the team, they only came 6th in the European, so they've mixed it around a little bit and come up with a combination that has
and to win by quite a big margin, quarter of a boat length. It's going to be interesting to see what the Australians doing after a win last weekend, and then I think they were 4th or 5th here.
Clearly against perhaps a different type of opposition. Last week we had the strength was coming out of Portugal, who are clearly not competing this weekend, but it looks like some of the big guns are certainly out here.
Yeah, there's no one missing here.
Apart from the Czechs.
Apart from the Czechs, yeah. But then you've just got another Slovakian crew in there. I mean, you got the 2 German crews, the 2 Slovakian crews. They're going to fill the spots.
And just look at that.
They're happy campers.
Well, that's a bit of excitement for you. You've had so many races today that have been coming close, haven't they, really? So good to see. So there'll be a learning experience here from the actual athletes. And some will, like you say, with the Australians, they might have to think hard about how their performance was and what they want to do in the future.
Yeah, and what they have to do moving forward to qualify that boat and secure the spot. I mean, there's only 10 spaces for the K4 Worlds.
But there's something going on, isn't it? Because Belarus, as you can see in your pictures, is completely delighted with their performance.
I'd say that's something to do with selection. That they probably secured their spot for World Championships. Real confidence booster for them. As I said, not getting a medal at Europeans and then coming here and winning about by quite a large margin.
So Duisburg, a good tractor racing, just for your historians, it's been around since about 1935. World Championships, they've hosted 5, was the last time we were all here in 2013. And they have had many, many World Cups since 1980 when it went first international. This is the home of the training camps, as you can see, just across the Montemor here. And what about the track? You like it?
Yeah, I mean, I like any course that's fair, and this seems to be one of the fairer courses. So I've raced here quite a lot as well, and it's familiar now at this point, so it's good to know your way around.
And there can be a good roar. The grandstand is a healthy crowd today, but when it's packed out for World Championships, there's a roar coming down the last 100 metres.
Yeah, but I don't think anything really compares to Hungary.
Different verse, isn't it?
Yeah, Hungary is just phenomenal. To hear all those people, it's like a football stadium. That's the closest thing I can explain it to. I think in Hungary it's nearly their national sport. I think water polo and canoeing are pretty neck and neck.
Well, for the Hungarians, they talk about the priority this year. It's very much their internal trials. Here you go. Look at the unofficial results rather. Belarus take it from Russia, take it from Slovakia.